Thank you for participating tonight. This is AfroEconomics Live. I am JB Bryan, the president and creator of AfroEconomics, a strategic financial management program designed for the advancement of Black wealth in America and abroad. Yes, it is. And it's powered by JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm I established in 1995. Thank you so much for making it possible. This morning, this funny thing happened. As you know, a big part of my purpose that God has put me here is to be a consumer advocate. So I had a client that we had put together an email to send to this major firm. They're big, 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 the big firm. And he was working on doing the transfer to my firm. So we sent the email, sent it from his email address that liquidate everything. So, of course, they called about his email. He told them, I want, yes, follow the email and I'm going to be transferring my account out. They said, okay. They didn't liquidate anything. And then it makes it a lot harder because some companies have products that are only available at that company. So you can't transfer them out. They make that's how they make money. That's their proprietary product. So you have to liquidate it before you leave. Well, just to make it hard for the client, they decided we're not going to. And I know that they can't take it anywhere else, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to ignore the email, even though you talked to him about it. We're going to act like he said, don't do the trades, and he's going to transfer, because this is his punishment for being, I know what they see as smart enough to go somewhere else and stop being dogged out by their firm. So we called today and I'm explaining to her that, that who is responsible, who is the supervisor, who is your compliance officer, who do we talk to? The trade was not taken care of. This person, a senior citizen, and over this year, I have seen senior citizens being abused. And they're not like asking them, they're using words they don't understand, and just this week I had another client that transactions were being done in her account at a major firm, and she never gave them the authority to do it. This client, this Black man, that other one that was a Black lady, this Black man, large assets. They did not, they were mad because I guess he was moving to my firm. But they still have a legal responsibility to do it. But what made me think about that is when I was saying about 1995, but because before 1995, I was already in financial services as a stockbroker with a firm. So I said, to the lady, I said, hey, you have to know who is the person responsible for your office, because I've been in this business for 30 years. And guess what the lady said to me? This, I could tell it was a young girl. Guess what she said to me? I'm telling her, what she say? What were you going to say, Stimmy?
I'm speechless. I can't even
That they
imagine.
didn't do the client stuff. I know.
Right.
And it gets worse as you get older. It becomes even more important who you are allowing and what type of relationship, that you have with these people, and who, like, how that person that you work with is positioned, if, if, if they are responsible enough, to take care of you. And we have to start taking action to get ourselves out of those situations. But she says to me, well, good for you. I could not believe it. With the client right there on the phone. And I said, yes, thank you. Well, I was like, I have never. And I told the client, I said, this is a serious compliance issue. The law is on your side. I said, we can pursue this. Now, I I know that when I start my call, when I'm calling, I start the call with, hi, I'm JB Bryan of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm. And they just blah, 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 ignore it, blah, blah, blah. So they're going, after they get mad because I'm standing up for this Black customer, then they say, what's your name again? So I said, well, you know what? Since you didn't care about my name at the beginning, let's just stay focused on the client and the assets at hand. This is who we need to take care of. And I told him, I said, we're not going to do anything right now, but as soon as they do what you have instructed them to do, I'm going to show you how you can make a complaint. And to top it all off, they're charging him $100 just for transferring out. I said, I can't, you're going to take that $100 off, right? And they said, no. I said, after all this that you're putting him through? They said, no. That's sick. Sick. And I keep seeing it over and over and over. Repeatedly. Us being dogged out, us being misled, us being in stuff you don't have any idea that you're in. Like this morning, they're running commercials about the car insurance overpricing us, and that they're not giving people proper reimbursements. But like for us, when is the last time that you actually let me look at your car and home insurance? Like, when is the last time it was looked at by a financial advisor that is licensed in property and casualty and is not the one that's actually being compensated for it? Because when I'm looking at it from a financial planning perspective, how to protect your assets perspective, how to make sure that you're not overpaying. Like, because so many people have coverages, multiple coverages, unnecessary coverages, and everything. And you can make the mistake yourself. Like, I was doing that with my motorcycle. I made a claim on my motorcycle, and my insurance on my bike went up to $600 a month. And I said, my goodness. And I was like, well, I own the bike. Why would I have full coverage? I own the bike. Like, what I'm saying? I've already did it because the other one was totaled because of a pothole and a leak, which I feel is actually a manufacturer's weakness, because a pothole should not bust open an oil tank and tear up your engine like that. Like, that is something, because I've noticed on the Japanese bikes, that was the Harley, had the oil tank wide open. And on the Suzuki, they have a cover under there, and it's not going to, a pothole is not going to get to the oil tank so that it can destroy your engine like that. So so anyway, I do this huge claim because the bike is totaled. And I said, well, might as well I don't need the full coverage. I know how deep I'm into it, and if something like that happens again, I'm just going to have to take it on the chin, because I'm not paying $600 a month. Now that's those type of decisions you need to have a professional to talk you through. And we need to be looking at every aspect of our finances. And every time, we need to stop thinking that the only time you need a financial advisor is when you're trying to buy something. A financial advisor is to advise you and make sure that you're maximizing what you have from every aspect, even the taxes. And that's what another client was telling me today. She was like, she was going to this, she was paying this person for tax planning, and they were sending her to someone else. And then I was noticed on her statements that she missed the required minimum distribution. And it is amazing to me how bright we are. And, these are people in their 70s, 80s, who are catching errors, but nobody is saying, you're right, we were wrong. So then that's where God brings me in. And I had to point out to her, I said, it doesn't look like you took the required minimum distribution last year out of this. And she was like, I'm paying this person. They're supposed to be my tax advisor, and and they're selling the investment, and they're, doing all these things, and they're not doing it, none of it, even halfway correctly. That's sad. That is sad. So let's continue to say that I need to make sure that I'm taking out time, at least for the quarterly meetings, to get your financial house stayed on track. A lot of it is we're not taking the time out, for ourselves. And now we have technology, we can do that. We can do Zoom meetings, we can do telephone calls. How you doing, Miss Cotman? Indeed. Look at Miss Hayes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, they don't. Miss Hayes was like, divest from those who do not value our money. Indeed. But a lot of times it's us who don't value our money, because like it really doesn't matter what they feel like, but we have to value ourselves, and then we won't tolerate that type of behavior. Like I was listening to Malcolm X had his tape on. Some of you missed it, and I was playing it as we were coming in today, and it was talking about, political punks. We have to stop being financial punks. We have to stop, allowing people to rob us. And then when you meet someone like me, then you all of a sudden, become like hyper, like, you know what I mean, from the PTSD of those, they did it. Like we can't misplace it. It's like when you meet a really bad person, and then when you meet a really good person, you think they're the bad person. We gotta what I'm saying? We gotta direct the bad on the bad. You know what I'm saying? And don't put the bad on the good. Now next time I ain't gonna trust nobody. I ain't gonna take, you know what I mean? You have to trust someone. So but when someone shows you who they are, stop making them have to repeat it. You're making them go through too much work to dog you out. Where they show you that they don't care, right? Believe them. Look, that is the most powerful quote, and we just don't exercise it. So how you doing, Dr. Carmichael? So let's talk about taxes. Where do you think our tax money goes? Now, I was telling you, I've told a lot of you, especially in our members meetings, about these doctorate management classes that I've been taking. way down. Way down. I told them. They were telling me about taking class. And no, I'm not taking more class. I'm taking one class a semester so that it can be fun. Because if it ain't fun, I'm not going to do it. So in my class my class, there's this kid, and he keeps saying that, because they keep asking us, what are we going to do to create social change through our businesses, which I think is great. Like, you know what I mean? That the institution really wants to see it. But think about it. Like, think on this. What do you think? Well, see, this classmate thinks like a lot of people think, that most of the tax money that we pay in is to take care of people on welfare. Who thinks that? I hear you, Dr. Williams. I don't know. The what do you think? Have you heard that before? That it's about welfare? That it's about the system? People dragging down the system? Who's talking to me? Who's going to unmute? Well, look at this. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm gonna try to I can't, this thing doesn't, can you see? And it says most of budget goes towards where our tax money is going.
Yes.
Thank you. So where is it going? Where's most of the budget going?
Social Security and Medicare.
That's right. But did you think, because of what is said and what is suggested, like in that class, there, and it's a black man who keeps saying repeatedly when they keep talking about problems with society, like I assumed it was a white guy until we had to do videos one time. And he said the welfare system is slowing down the US economy. So when I first started the class and he was coming with that, I was very emotional, and by the end of that class, I was so um, proud of myself, I should say, from in a godly way, that I was learning to do what I was supposed to do as a scholar, use the stats, use the numbers, So I showed him the research that was showing that it is not us. It is not us. It is not. These are these safety net programs. That's what he's talking about. Because he said that he grew up in the projects and he feels that a lot of people are buying into victimhood, and it's really sad that he feels that way because he's not his family or cousins or whomever it is that saddened him like that, it's not exactly corporate welfare. Because all of that healthcare stuff is going to insurance companies. Nobody has a problem with this. Is that exactly this is Ms. Sumter when a municipality spends millions on a stadium, right? But spend a little 6 or 8% on helping people have affordable housing in a country that allows a minimum wage. And that was my argument with my classmate, that if you want to do something in management, when you're in a position to hire, stop paying people minimum wage when you know it's not livable. We live in a country that has a minimum wage that is well below a livable wage. So that's the management issue. That's what they need to be talking about tonight, right? Right? Mm, mm, mm. Indeed. So definitely make sure, Ms. Goddard, that you join AfroEconomics so that you can have a meeting. She said that she wants to have a meeting. Girlfriend, yes, indeed. We can't have but so many complimentary consultations. I gotta eat too. So make sure that you join. It's only $30 a month. I'm worth that. That's $1 a day. And you got unlimited calls, and you can call me every day of the week if you want. Lord knows you could. And then we, and I'm telling you, I will do my best. Yes, indeed. She's probably saying something else back. Get majority of this Miss Witherspoon, majority of wages aren't even enough to qualify for housing, right? Right? Like you can't even get approved if you wanted to get a nice apartment, especially in an urban area. Exactly. If you want to make 2 to 3 times, if you have to make 2 to 3 times the rent, and you're getting paid minimum wage. And the research that I was just discovering done on Baltimore City, it was saying that people with 4-year degrees, they were following people 2 years, 4-year degrees, 6 years after completing college, they still only 24% were making a livable wage. These are people with 4-year degrees. That is a corporate, that is a government problem. That is a corporate problem. So when we're paying, so let's look at like major taxes. I want us to think about what are the taxes that we're going to. What made me think about this is because at some point I'm gonna send it out to y'all. They haven't played it live yet, but on Channel 6 this week, I was talking about that payroll tax cut. And the payroll, and I shouldn't say tax cut, it's really a payroll tax deferment. Have y'all heard about that?
Yes.
Payroll taxes, payroll taxes. So who wants to explain payroll taxes? Like, but payroll taxes are what you pay from the payroll that you make, right? And then, so this new payroll tax deferment is to allow you to not have to pay the 6.2% for September, October, November, December, you know, to not have to pay that, and your employer to not have to match it. That goes to that, and I'll show it again. So the payroll goes to this bucket, this Social Security bucket. But we're having that bucket, is going to go down if we are not putting enough into it. And the income taxes don't have, like, the income taxes are for general needs, but the Social Security has its own trust that it's research is saying, and we looked at this when we were talking about Social Security being impacted by COVID. Well, research is saying that that bucket is going down, so if they want to re-up that bucket, they have to get it from where do you think that comes from? If you need some more, and they go, oh, this trust fund for Social Security is going down, where do you think they go to get it?
General fund.
They go to the general. And what finances the general?
All the taxes.
Your income taxes. That's right. Yes, your income taxes. And look, you said, yeah, that's about all. Look, that's a overwhelming majority of them. Exactly. Exactly. And then you have like your money that will go to your local governments, any state income taxes. And then you might have sales taxes. And then you might have hotel taxes. Then you might have, retail tax. All of those are going to your local governments. But that federal income tax, it is going to that. It's your biggest bucket because it has to make up for everything. So your income taxes are what's called progressive, meaning the more you make, the higher your income tax bracket will be. So if you're lower income, and we know that, but we just never probably thought about, like, why, where'd that come from? Like, why do we do that? Well, we need those, to take care of those things, the like that. And then Medicare has its own. So the Medicare is not mixed in with the Obamacare, that affordable care that has a subsidy that goes with it. All of those, the health benefits and all of those, they get a larger contribution of tax money than the housing projects or any income subsidies that are sent out. So the next time you hear, or you even think in the back of your mind that these people, that are in government subsidized housing or somehow living off you, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. What I feel that we should look at them as, if we have to in any way, judge on what should I do to make sure that I vote in people that will encourage better incomes and better wages and affordable living. Nobody should work anywhere and not be making a livable wage. And we cannot continue to vote in people who convince us that it's going to be some sort of, that they'll hire less people, if we have to pay them more, well, then you don't need to be increasing your pockets and increasing your profits at the expense of these people who are not being compensated correctly. Then get them and teach them how they should make sure. I was like, where is that coming from? That they should make sure that they get in tune with what they're actually taking out, how they're benefiting, how the earnings are going up, and you're not even paying people for affordable incomes and livable wages. That's a big challenge. And I mean, you have to admire the fact that I believe, and we can investigate it farther, that Amazon has made a major commitment to making sure that they're paying people affordable wages. You know, and it's sad that, that it's not like encouraged that everybody learn from them. That even if somehow their corporation doesn't have to pay a lot of corporate taxes, income taxes, it's more important that they make sure that their payroll stays big and they give people affordable wages. They're going to definitely pay enough in their portion of the contribution to that person's social security and the other contributions that employers and the benefits package that needs to be acknowledged, that I believe a lot of companies are hard on Amazon because they're making other companies raise the bar, especially companies that are hiring people that are what would be like lower skilled labor, where they're just a driver. They don't have like an engineering skill or whatever they may feel is a criteria for making sure they make more. But they're saying this job is very important. They are helping the economy continue during a crisis. And then I think that those type of values that we can stand, I know that we can stand up and make points on that people, our tax money really matters. And what we're doing with it is not that our community is pulling down this country in any way. Even the poorest among us are not getting the support that they need. And if anything, as Ms. Sumter was saying, it's corporate America that is getting the benefits from, and we see it even through COVID. You have a payroll tax cut, and the corporations don't even have to contribute their portion of it. And you say you're doing it to help the individual, you're doing it to help them too. Because payroll taxes are a big expense for companies. And so the income taxes, we know that we have to be on top of them. We know that it should be our goal to figure out smart ways to defer our income, to reduce our taxable income. That's why I'm always encouraging us to get involved in the plans available through work, because it's a absolute easy, automatic way to reduce your tax bill. Straight up better than buying a house. Why it's not promoted that way, I do not know. But reducing your taxable income has a much greater tax benefit than the expense of going into debt and buying additional things that you don't have the money to purchase. Now that's cool too, because of the possibility for the increase over time of the value may happen, but for an instant tax benefit, we should be looking at things that truly give you a reduction in your income immediately, maximizing your retirement plans and making sure that you're investing them correctly. So that is always why it's always what I attack first when we set up the membership. And then the sales taxes, know that. Look at what you're paying. I think we just don't even realize the amount of money that we spend, that, we just spend over the year on our purchases and how much money is made on our purchases. The payroll taxes, we talked about it. What about property taxes? Do you live, everybody lives in different, places. But, some of you have property taxes. I know in Virginia, which is considered my resident state, we have property taxes. No, and people have run and won political offices on trying to reduce our property taxes. But there's still, as far as, our tax rate, like, is it our property taxes, but our income tax rate is lower. Where when I compare it to like Maryland, their income tax rate is almost double, but I don't think they have as many property taxes. And then was someone going to ask a question? And then another one that I didn't really, I want to talk about capital gains. So who wants to talk about or say anything about capital gains taxes? And why it's even significant, because a low percentage of us actually invest in stocks, and when we do, it's through a retirement account. So when you're in a retirement account, do you really have to worry about capital gains?
No.
That's a great question. That's when you're in the retirement account. Asked him, he said no. And why not? If and the answer is no, that you do not, in a retirement account, you don't have to worry about capital gains. And why is that? Oh, Ms. Worsley said they're already talking about running out of money for Social Security. So why would you cut the payroll tax, right? Because they can get it from the general. Look, they're gonna just keep like switch it over here, switch it over here. I know one thing. They're gonna give me back my Social Security money. They can just give me a lump sum. They don't have to worry about. They do not have to worry about down the road for me. Just give
Like,
me
give me
my lump
mine
sum.
too.
Exactly, exactly. I'm gonna write them a letter. I'm gonna make your life easy. Just send me back what I sent you. I'm good. Matter of fact, they don't even have to give me no earnings on my money. Just give me it all back. Just give it back. Yeah, you do have a lot of property taxes. Exactly. Capital gains taxes are capped at 15. Capital gains taxes are lower, but they're adjusting higher. And then now you get the maximum. Let me get this. The maximum capital gains tax for 2020. It's going to blow your mind, Dr. Williams. Brace yourself. It's 20%. Yep. It's either 0, 15, or 20%. And that's for the long term. That's for long-term capital gains for things held for more than, but that's still lower and that's for incomes over 248,000 or more. And that's still lower than the income taxes. Income taxes go like almost to like 40%, so but there is talk, about making changes with the capital gains tax rates. And if you're going to help the economy, would you increase capital gains taxes or lower capital gains taxes? Got an econ class going now. We got it going. So if you want to help the economy, would you increase it, your capital gains tax rate, or reduce it?
Increase.
You would increase it. If you actually, this is like from an economist perspective. Now, if you want to help the government's pocket, then you would increase it because they'd get more money coming in. But that doesn't, help the economy as the way that they see it. If you want to help the economy, meaning get people to invest in companies, get people to start their own businesses, get people to invest in businesses, that's what they see as helping the economy, then it's seen as you have to lower the capital gains tax. Yes, but if you but it, and that's funny that y'all Dr. Williams said the same way. He sees it as if you increase that, you will help. But no, like if you increase it, you also will stop me from selling what I have.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if I don't sell what I have, I'm not gonna go into anything else, and I'm gonna hold on to what I got, and it's gonna slow down. It's gonna slow down. So if you lower it, then people will start selling it, taking their money, and what do? Spend, invest in something else, buy a car, buy another business, buy another invest. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want for the economy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lower it, and that's why we shouldn't anticipate it going up, unless there's like a major move that the government just has to raise money. But when the government has to raise money, it's basically, doing it at the expense of slowing down the economy. When you increase income taxes, the same thing happens. People take home less money. Businesses have to pay people more money. That's the way they see it. Look, Mr. Travers says, well, the government just can print some more. I know that's right. I know that's right. Exactly. That's so blessed. But definitely, I think that it's important for us to just have these types of discussions so that we think about what you're doing. Look, think about what we're thinking about. Because we don't understand like how everything that we do connects to the government. Like, because we haven't been uh, socialized to realize how important we are, how important your every dollar is. I was looking at a Kroger's commercial, and they were doing like these cartoon characters, and it was like dun, 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 and the low, it had the cartoon like dancing and doing all this, like, girl was like dropping it like it's hot and all this stuff. And I was like, wow, they are going after that money that they feel is in our community right now. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they see, that we will buy those groceries and we will go to their store, you know what I'm saying? That they are appealing directly to the Black consumer in a way I have never seen before. No, on those types of items. But then when you look at other items, you know what I mean? You don't see us so much in them. It'll be in savings tools or investing things, unless it's stuff like a life insurance policy and it's one of those that are extremely overpriced, no health check needed. No, they'll put a Black person in it. you know it's really like, I think we should think about everything that we do with our money, and every transaction, and everything is marketed to you. Like, there's a gambling casino in Virginia, and because research has shown that Black women, older Black women, have serious challenges with an addiction to gambling, that they put older Black women in the commercial. You can't really find another commercial on television. Even Kroger said we're gonna make it a cartoon, but they didn't have the nerve to actually put Black people dancing through their store. They did little cartoon characters. They put us in it. So, but they put these Black ladies in that casino. On the casino picture coming down the highway, older Black woman, gray hair and everything. Mr. Travers says social engineering. Yes. But imagine if that same effort was done to help us make sure that it's known that our community contributes more to this society than it takes from it, in every way. In every way. We do not, as in the Malcolm X video that I was listening to as you were logging in, and he said, as a group, as a group, the strength that we have, that we can turn either political party in either direction that we want. And all we have to do is be together on what we need as a community. There is not a voice that is saying that we are not pulling down this country. Our kids need to have equal access to education during a time such as this, where we know that they are being deprived, and that we have thousands of children who have been lost because of this pandemic and are not going to be back in front of their computer, and they know this. And there's no money being put in that area. On sending support. You can do a census from door to door, but you have yet to do a door to door look to make sure that this kid is ready to sign in next week to start high school. This is going to be like, these are the things, the affordable housing, affordable, affordable opportunities to get an education and to get skill, and to get to get protection, and the ability to protect your household, and to pull someone, and to make sure that someone is called to order on why and who shot that young woman in her bed in her house. And how are we going to stop people from being afraid to be in their own homes, from people breaking in, our own police officers breaking in and killing us in our homes, and unjustifiable killings? No drugs, no record, no problems, nothing, no domestic issues, no excuses, just killing us. Like, these are the things that we need to be united about. And it could be, that, our tax issues. Where's our tax money going? Why are our communities not equipped and don't have the, a free Wi-Fi available in our urban areas, so that everybody doesn't have to go around with the little Wi-Fi card, but you can just have it right there? Everything, anybody within school district zone of that school would have the Wi-Fi, because you have it right there. But these, are the things I know that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would be saying that we need to be doing. Not, just picking a side because we don't like someone else, but on whatever side, whatever we choose, whoever we support, make sure that they're going to look out for our economic, our social, our legislative, our social, our spiritual goals for our children, our community. Mr. Travers says, children in underserved communities must and don't have computers or network access, or anyone in the house who knows enough about technology in the house to help them. Exactly. This is our time. This is our time. Please help me. Tell me what AfroEconomics needs to do, what we need to do to get this voice out there. It's not about getting low and low and low and entertaining. We have to let them know that there are people who are actually intelligent, we are actually looking at our dollars, and we see where they're going. And it's not, you don't shut us up anymore trying to make us think that our tax dollars are going to the hood, when you know it's not, when you know it's going, where it's going. This is their stuff. This is theirs. The defense and international security assistance, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, CHIP, and placement subsidies going directly to the insurance companies. Safety net programs, that's the part of helping people in the community. And then I said, well, I want to know, like, what, and I'm making this smaller. This is from Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, cbpp.org, 2019, Office of Management and Budget, fiscal year 2021, historical tables. Always find out what is the source, huh? Safety net of the United States is made of various welfare programs to protect low-income Americans from poverty and hardship. The programs are meant to be a safety net to catch Americans if they fall on hard times. The goal is to get Americans of sound body and mind back on their on their feet. That's only 8%. What were you going to say, Keila? Is your mic open? I'm sorry, sweetie. You were you mute yourself, or maybe you were saying amen. Oh, I'm sorry. I think you unmute and then I unmute. I'm not gonna touch it. You unmute. What were you saying, sis?
Oh no, I had no comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was you.
No.
You were saying amen. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm glad you said that. Look, we have Aquila and I have Aquila. Aquila said it, and that's why she couldn't say it because I didn't allow her. And Aquila, yeah, that's why. What were you going to say something, Aquila?
Hello?
Yes, honey, I got you. That was funny.
No,
Hmm?
no, I don't know. Oh, I raised my hand.
Hmm.
I didn't have anything to say. I was just listening.
Oh, you were just saying
As
amen.
a kid, I'm dealing with the children and bedtime and everything right now.
I love it. I love it. Tell them to stay up. This is some serious stuff. Well, I'm glad you hang out with us tonight. Thank you, everybody. Make sure that on Friday we have our members only discussion. And even if you have a free membership, you are invited to hang out for the members only discussion. And then know that there are several membership levels, and the point of it is for us to have affordable advocacy and for me to just help you along in planning, and it's just to increase your confidence in all of your financial decisions and to help you just be reassured that on what you're doing. Sometimes just to have just and most importantly, it give us a sense of unity. Our membership, is over. We have over 500 active members, y'all. We have come a mighty long way. So that is positive. But each week, I invite over 2,000 people to come live. So, so we have like 1,500 people that we need to get involved. But I'm glad that we are growing through. We are thriving through COVID, and I think that once you see like all where these people in many cases have dropped the ball because they're working from home, and we've seen a decline in service to disgusting levels of disappointment. And it makes it even more important that you watch yourself, that you watch what is going on. One lady, we specifically called, and told a company that she doesn't want any more withdrawals. This is it. And they still kept sending her money. Well, she's on top of it. So there's someone, and it was like, why are you doing that? So don't send any more money. Then they still send her more money, and like this is the kind of, and I got to the point where I was like, look, you don't worry about it. She told them that it was okay to talk to me about it. Then, and that, at first she was like, I just didn't want to bother you. And I'm like, nope, let me do it. So you're not alone. If you're going through something, and you feel alone, you don't have to. We all need each other. So anything that I can do to help, and we learn from each other, like tonight. I mean, we do, especially during the members only. Like Miss Pollard was helping us on, we want to do some fasting at the beginning of September, and and we've been raising money to treat to feed, and we did over the weekend, like we're at $325, for childhood hunger, and we're still looking for a group. We can do this. We can do this, y'all. We can make a difference. And I just sometimes we just don't feel like what we do matters, but it really does make a difference. So I'm going to play this speech by Malcolm X. Again, I hope that if you have time, please stick around and listen. You can chat in any questions that you have. Andrea was talking about that. That's cool. And AfroEconomics is, how you doing, Andrea? She was talking about a trademark conference coming up. That's great. The trademark office I have found to be great. I trademarked AfroEconomics about 5 years ago. I just had a renewal came up, I've never had to get a lawyer involved. I've done all the paperwork myself. It saved me a lot of money both times, even my renewal, I just processed it. I mean, it's just extreme. It's made for us. They are there to serve us. So ask questions. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sumter. Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Y'all are the best. Good to see you, Dr. Carmichael. Let's make sure we connect soon. You all the best. Let's go back to Malcolm, and y'all have a great, great rest of the week. God bless you.
These political elections. They see that the whites are so evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republican. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you back controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you are dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. And what kind of alibi do they come up with? They try and pass the buck to the Dixiecrats. Now, back during the days when you were blind, deaf, and dumb, ignorant, politically immature, naturally you went along with that. But today, as your eyes come open and you develop political maturity, you're able to see and think for yourself. And you can see that a Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat in disguise. You look at the structure of the government that controls this country. It's controlled by 16 senatorial committees and 20 congressional committees. Of the 16 senatorial committees that run the government, 10 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. Of the 20 congressional committees that run the government, 12 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. And they're going to tell you and me that the South lost the war.
Thank you all. Have a good night.